guys, welcome to another WoW Weekly with Miss news video. I hope everyone is having a great day and a great start to your week. And I'm cooking up some lasagna while I do this video, so I have an hour to record because that's how long my lasagna is gonna take. So this week's event is pretty nil, mainly because we have the Season 3 starting up. So our regular group of events is we're gonna have Time Walking Wrath. Then we will have the PvP Brawl, which will be Warsong Scramble. On August 16th, which will be Saturday, for one day only, we'll have the t-shirt day. I think I did a video on this. I'll have to look because of course I'll want to do a video on it if I haven't. But it's just in the city, there's a bunch of t-shirts just lying on the ground and you just pick them up. It's free t-shirt day. Yeah, so yeah, just a little fun event if you're feeling the need to either, get more t-shirts or make sure you have them all from, from that event. Nothing is like unique to that event. It's all shirts that you can get in the game, but you do get them for free just by them lying on the ground. So yeah. And then the other thing is the new season. So Season 3 will start up this week. So after, once Tuesday hits and we're in Season 3, we have all the content. So we will be in our Season 3 PvP, Season 3 Raid, Season 3 Delves, and of course M+ as well. So yeah, you'll also be able to check your vault. I'm sure you've been doing stuff this week, so that will be Season 3 loot in your vault. And that is the events. So let's get into the news. Okay guys, so starting with the Twitch drop. So the Twitch drop, the new one is still live. It runs until September 2nd. There was actually a bit of a bug with the Twitch drop this past week. Basically the bug really was that it wasn't working right in the beginning. So it took, I believe it was about 4 hours before it started actually ticking away for your progression. Also, the other thing people have been noticing is that the turtle back piece is also triggering a second time. Now, worth noting, and I told people that were mentioning it in my stream as well, that it's just saying that you're not getting a second turtle back piece. There isn't a second color or anything. Like, it is just like you're not actually getting anything, right? You've already looted that Twitch drop, and personally I think it was just because they were running two at the same time. I think the system got confused, and the Twitch drop system isn't as particular as you might think it is. All it really knows is that a Twitch drop is running in WoW. That streamer is streaming WoW, meaning they have WoW as their category, and basically any Twitch drop that's going on is gonna trigger at that point. So I really did think last week when I was mentioning that there was gonna be two, I was very certain that there was gonna be an issue that was gonna arise because Twitch just wouldn't know the difference, when they would have to like really know that every single person has actually done it already to specifically only put that one drop in. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, it's all good. You might still see your turtle back piece. Well, actually you won't this week because it's over. It's over as of today. So, so there is only the most recent drop running now until September, which is this guy you see on screen. So, so yeah, everything should, look fine as far as the it, auto claiming and all that. Also, we got a leak earlier last week, and it was for the Midnight expansion. It was for pre-orders on the Midnight expansion, and you could actually pre-order it, but I imagine it's been fixed now. But at the time when I saw it, because ironically, I had already put this into our WoW Weekly for this week before WoW had even reported on it. They were kind of taking their time reporting on it. And so basically we know a little bit due to the leak. So so the base version will be $50 US. It's going to include War Within and Midnight, a level 80 boost with enhanced gear, rep progress, and some more stuff, 500 trader tender, and it was saying housing early access. This is what got people talking, was because housing early access was in the beta version. It wasn't really that they were surprised that there'd be housing early access. It was that it was in the beta version. So we'll see if that one stays. That one is iffy if that one stays, but we'll see. Heroic Edition, $70 US. You get all of you'll get War Within, Midnight, the level 80 boost, 1,000 trader tender, housing early access, and then you're also going to get a Lightstrider Raiment Transmog set along with a Dragonhawk Skyriding mount. And then there's the Epic and $90 version, so this is 90 US. War Within, Midnight, level 80 boost, 2,000 trader tender, housing early access, Lightstrider Raiment Transmog set, Light Wing Dragonhawk Skyriding mount, a Void Strider Raiment Transmog set, a Void Wing Dragonhawk Skyriding mount, Hope Flutter pet, Doom Feathers pet, beta access to Midnight, 3 days early access to the Midnight expansion, along with quite a bit of a housing bundle. So you'll get a light gazebo, a void gazebo, a couple of fountains, and then we see some decor for Illyria, Tiralon, Erator, and Exalta, and also 30 days of game time. So there is quite a bit in the Epic Edition for sure, and a good chunk is housing. Yeah. Which, not surprising, I told people long ago that a lot of the housing stuff was gonna be sold on the store. This does count. This counts. It is on the store. It is in a bundle that is $20 more than the previous bundle. So yeah, but you do get a lot. If housing is something you're interested in, the Epic does sound worth it, because there was an extra couple of mounts there. There was some pets, beta access, so it is worth it. And I don't know about you guys, but I always buy the most expensive anyway, because I always just want everything that comes with that expansion, right? So yeah, I get that not everyone would be like that, but I know I am. And then the next thing I thought we'd just quickly talk about, because this really has nothing to do with majority of us, but it is part of the news. But there was a big Chinese commotion going on. One, it happened right after there was a bunch of banning happening on Chinese side for cheating. Big surprise there. I find it's always the Chinese side that brings the cheaters. Not that there isn't people cheating in the game anyway, but seems to always be a lot more over on that side of the world. But shortly after that, there was a bundle that was specific to them. It included this transmog set that you see on screen. And at first, see, that's the one that everyone's been talking about, okay? But there's another thing people aren't aware of. And I did some mega digging afterwards and realized that it's not just that transmog, it is also this void forged overseer that is basically a purple version of the jailer mount. And that is some crazy ass shit. I'm just gonna say. And I'd just like to point out, there's a couple of reasons why I've started becoming more casual with my mount collecting. This is one of the reasons, because there are mounts we just cannot get based on region. I'm just gonna say, based on region, there is, you just can't say you have all the mounts because you are region locked. And it's the same on their side. There's some mounts they can't get that we have as well. So yeah, it's just really tough to be 100% completion on mounts type player when this kind of stuff does happen. So yeah, and you know, between that, some promotions that they were doing around the anniversary event that were also region locked, and you know, and that was going on both sides of the frame there as well. And then there was also the fact that they're just, you know, giving away some mounts. Between all three of those factors, that's what's made me more casual, because I just haven't seen, you know, I'll always like collecting my mounts, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference between collecting the mounts when you have time and then making time to make sure you're getting them all, right? There's a complete difference between those, and I've stopped making sure I have time to get them all. I skipped out purposely on a couple of AOTC mounts the past couple of expansions. And, you know, I always liked doing AOTC mounts, but they just, because they've been kind of ugly mounts, and I could be doing other things, you know, and I've just become a little more casual with my mount farming. So I just thought I'd add that. Once again, it's, you know, it's nothing that really affects us, but it, in a sense, does. You know, it is a mount that, you know, this is a Chinese promotion that they're doing. So, but for those that haven't, you know, didn't know, because I feel like when I was seeing posts of people talking about this, one, they don't seem to know about the jailer mount, the purple jailer mount, and two, because they were only really discussing the transmog, right? And I'm just gonna say the purple jailer mount is way better than that transmog is. But this, you know, based off the comments, I felt like people are just discovering that this has happened. Like, this has been happening for a long ass time, you know, for years. Yeah, I would say pretty much since the store opened. Yeah, Blizzard has really kind of catered to the China side for a while now. And yeah, there was another, you know, At the beginning of the year, there was another promotion that was Chinese only. It was for the Blazing Royal Firehawk and the Golden Ashes of Valar. So, you know, there's definitely been different ones before. There was also another one that was just a month ago that was a promotion for the China players being able to play WoW again, because they were kind of cut off from WoW for not long, but almost an entire expansion. So when they came back, they had a promotion, and this was it here on screen. So yeah, this would not be the first time. Also, let's not forget a few years ago when they put the Swift Spectral Tiger on the Chinese store and then added flight to it. Okay, so that is kind of some general news. Let's get into some more gameplay type stuff. So for starters, hopefully, if you didn't know, you've been kind of paying attention to my channel lately to know that you can get some Mythic Dungeon loot. 681 is what you've been able to get this past week. It is Monday, so you can still go in there. I did a stream of it, and we'll probably be doing some M+ on stream. I'm running a poll right now to see what people like. So if M+ is something you want to see on stream, go to the post section on my YouTube channel. There's a poll happening right there. I wanted to get a little bit of an idea of what people like on the streams. I have a lot of people that just say stream what you like, So I end up just streaming whatever the fuck I want. But it's nice to have a little input every so often. So if M+ is something you like and you want to see more of it on the streams, let me know. This past week was just M0s, of course. M+ isn't out till Tuesday. I will always just stream whatever I want, of course. But the poll will tell me whether I throw in those kind of streams, right? The thing to remember with that poll is I play other games as well. So if no one votes on like raids and Mythic Plus or Delves or whatever, I will not stream that stuff and I'll play a random game instead, right? So the poll, while I will still stream what I want, the poll is still beneficial to get the content that maybe you want to see. So yeah, definitely vote on it if you're interested. 681 has been coming from the Mythic Dungeons, and you can get a little over 690 on your vault for this week on Tuesday when you open it. So you can situate that right now. Hopefully you've started that by doing delves and some Mythic Zeros. For the Karish stuff, I really just wanted to focus on one important thing this week, and that's the Reshi Wraps. One, you need them to go into the raid. So if you have not gotten them yet, I highly suggest getting them, especially if your raid team goes in on a Tuesday. I personally hate raiding on Tuesdays. You will need your Reshi Wraps. You cannot get into the raid without them. So you can get that right now. You can get your Reshi Wraps by doing the 3 chapters that are available right now. And then on Tuesday, we'll have the chapter 4, and then there's going to be an epilogue that occurs, and that'll complete the campaign. But right now, you can get Reshi Wraps, and you can get it to a rank 3. So definitely just do the campaign and get that. You will acquire some ethereal strands, and you get those from completing warrant quests in Karish. I got one the other day from an end of the delve chest. Also, when the raid starts up, you can loot them off the raid bosses. They're also off the bosses in the M+ dungeons. And then also you can get them from winning PvP matches in Season 3. So there is a few different ways you can get them. And the talent points on your Reshi Wraps is, it costs 3 strands to do 1 point. And that will bring you up to a final item level of 730. This is time gated, of course, but you know, once it's all kind of enough weeks have passed by, you will hit 730. So as far as the time gate, you'll be able to get 1 talent point every week. You can also socket your Reshi Wraps. You get a freebie when you get your Reshi Wraps, and then you can also buy them later. And they're only like 100 each for your socket stuff. There is going to be an epic quality one. This is crafted by tailors. So that is how you would get that. The recipe for these, if you're a tailorer, is at Renown 5. And so that's for the Karish Trust. And you will need to submit a work order. Also worth noting that you can unlock the 11.2 campaign skip. So to unlock this skip, you of course need to finish Chapter 3 on at least 1 character. This will lead you to the quest Another World, and this is where you do like your first phase diving quest. And you'll get an achievement called Become a Hero, Become a Phase Diver. Once you see that achievement pop, you have unlocked the campaign skip. So that's the biggest thing. If you want to just check right now to see if you have it unlocked, just look up Become a Hero, Become a Phase Diver. And yeah, that unlocks it. And then at that point, for your alt, you'll just do the campaign as you would. You'll hit up the Veiled Market, which is Tazavesh, of course. And once you get the quest Restoring Operational Efficiency, you'll have the option to skip the campaign. So you do need to do a couple of the beginning quests, but then you can skip once you get into Tazavesh. Now, the thing to note with the skip, though, is it will not just give you Reshi Wraps. This is the tricky part about skip quests that involve crucial items. So, when you do the skip, you're gonna have to manually fly to the Overlook and speak to, the Overlook is Zoshul, and you'll speak to Hashem. He'll have an option to give your alts the Reshi Wraps, and so you just select that option and then get your wraps and you're good to go. And this shouldn't be an issue anymore, but it might, if you're watching this on a Monday, it might still be an issue. But just gonna put this out since we're talking about the Reshi Wrap. There was an exploit this past week, of course. Like, week 1 of every patch has tons of exploits, right? And so there was an exploit this week involving the Reshi Wraps. And it was that some people were getting it to a rank 4. Don't let it get to a rank 4. Blizzard bans people for that no matter what. They don't know who's intentionally exploiting and who's not, right? So, just gonna say, keep yours at a max rank 3 until Tuesday. This one I thought was important because there's been talk about an add-on that somehow messes with this, and you might not know if you have that add-on or not. And I haven't heard what add-on it is, so I can't even tell you. But yeah. which is unfortunate because I wouldn't want to tell you the exploit. I'd want to tell you so that maybe you disable that add-on for till Tuesday, right? But it's Monday now. If you accidentally triggered it, I imagine you would have accidentally done it by now. But just thought I'd mention that as well. Since we're talking about exploits, there was another one I kind of missed talking about in the beginning of this video, and it was the warrior one. So it's been fixed. I knew it wouldn't take too long for them to fix it, but there was a warrior that had gone in. He was on hard mode Kaviza, which is the Delve boss, right? And he used to spell reflect to choose the kill, and he took down the hardest version of the Delve boss in 1 minute by using the spell reflect. And yeah, he got his stuff removed, like the rewards you get from killing that boss. He got that removed, and it has been fixed now. But I think it's hilarious how bad Blizzard is at testing their own shit. It's like, it's been a running joke that we are the beta testers, but it's a running joke, and it's funny because it's true. The jokes that are the funniest out there in the world are the ones that are actually true. And yeah, we're still beta testing this game. Okay, so for my progress, let's just walk away. You guys might be tired of that dog barking. Okay, so as for me, my goals, my accomplishments, all that stuff, I actually skipped mounts this week because Tuesday I'd gone in to Karish. I'd done all the side quests on the first day. I love side quests, so yeah, I got that done on the first day, and then I felt like I'd gotten that done, but the campaign, I'd only done chapter 1. I still didn't have my wraps on day 1, right? So I was like, okay, Wednesday mount farm, because mount farms are always on Wednesdays, right? So I told stream, Wednesday mount farm canceled. I do them every week. We can cancel 1 week. It's for a good reason. It's, patch week. And so I canceled it, and we did another Karish stream on Wednesday instead, and that's when I finished the campaign, got my wraps, did some phase diving. I'm iffy on whether I like phase diving. I like the activity of phase diving, but I get the no flying, okay? But no ground mounts? That's a little ridiculous, Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about, no mounting whatsoever in this phase diving thing. But, we'll see. We'll see if I can get used to it. If I still feel the way I feel right now in a month, then we hate it. Oh, yeah. I did do some dungeons, so Tuesday and Wednesday was Karish. Thursday, I did get some Undermine rep. I decided, okay, I know it's patch week, but I need to get some of this rep done. So right here, let's just right here, Undermine. I had all of this. Nothing got to Exalted or moved a renown level or anything. But what I was working on is, the week before, we did get Exalted on Belgewater, and this week I worked on Steamweedle. We got it to Revered. And then also Dark Fuse. Dark Fuse was neutral. Yeah, so we did some pretty good work on Dark Fuse. I brought it from neutral to honored, and And yeah, so these are basically what the progress was. So it wasn't a full progress, but I think we did pretty good. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep doing that while we're doing 11.2 stuff. I want to get that out of the way as soon as I can so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And there's my Karish Trust rep. That's really only off 2 days because I haven't been out to Karish since Wednesday. I did Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday I did Undermine stuff, and then Friday I did nothing. I didn't even log in. I was busy doing some editing. And then Saturday we did dungeons. So there's my vault so far. There's gonna be more work being done tonight. I'm doing delves tonight. But I did do dungeons on Saturday. So we have a 691 there and there. So I have 2 691s. I'm not gonna do 4 more. So this is all that's gonna show. But I do plan on upping these because I only have 1 691 here. You know, I have access to 8s now. So I thought I had done an 8 the last time, but I guess 7 was the last one? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Because it says complete 2. Yeah, I'll do 1 more to get an 8. Because I was so sure the last one I did was an 8. Yeah, so 1 is an 8, 1 is a 7. So we can definitely, we're going to up all 3 of these. So yeah. And then the raid isn't out yet, so it'll be out, you know, tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday. So obviously we can't do anything there. But you know. And speaking of the raid, LFR wing will be open as well. I know lots of my people here do not actually raid, but they like to at least see what it's all about through LFR. So that will be available as well. And yeah, achievement-wise, so those are the achievements. So those are the last achievements. See, there is a tier 8 in there. I knew it. So those are the last achievements that I did. I did all the treasures here. This was kind of a bitch of an achievement. That archival assaults delve is like a fucking maze, man. Yeah. As far as I can tell, it's the only new one. I thought there was 2, but I might have just like imagined that myself, right? Maybe there was always one. I can't imagine that we wouldn't have seen it this week. But yeah. But I do need to do these stories on it in due time, though. And we will have an achievement for the mount. We didn't the first 2, but they probably just didn't want to like spam Delver achievement mount stuff, right? And I opened 5 out of 10 gates this week. And the gates, they're dark portals. Click them if you see them in your delves. They give you a little extra loot. And this will never get done because I keep skipping the Nemesis quest or kills. I could have had it done. I could have had it done like season 1. You know? I keep skipping it. And now we have the 3rd Nemesis on there. So, yeah. And that is that. So I gotta go check on my food, guys. And we're, you know, my food supposedly be ready in 10 minutes, but I gotta make sure, you know, oven is pretty good sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great week. Enjoy the raid if you're going in there this week for the raid. And M+ and all that. Get tons of loot, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.